we're excited to announce Navy versus Oklahoma in the 22nd Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. Game will be played Friday, December 27th, and the kickoff time is officially now 11 a.m. local, which is Central Time. And it's played at TCU's Amon Carter Stadium. And this is the third time for Navy to appear in the game, first time for Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is the third SEC team that we've been able to have here in Fort Worth. Also on board, I've got Brant Ringler, who's the executive director. He's happy to answer any questions as well, and I'll give him the floor here to say hello, and then we'll get on to Coach Newberry.
Thanks, Drew, and welcome everybody on the call. Truly appreciate your time for being here. Coach, we met for the first time back at the AAC meetings at the start of the season, and I told you how excited we would be if we had the opportunity to get Navy in our game, and I'm so glad it's come to fruition. I know you got a lot of I know you got a lot of Texas kids on your team as well, so hopefully they're just as excited as the rest of their teammates to come on home and participate in the game against Oklahoma. I believe you're from Oklahoma as well, so it seems like there's a lot of synergies there, and obviously it's a making of a great matchup. I know you're focused right now on Army, as you should be, but once you get past that game and can turn your attention to this, we're here for you and want to make you guys have a phenomenal experience.
Appreciate it. Listen, I'm stoked. I think this is awesome. And obviously, all of our energy and attention is on Army right now. Get ready for this, but couldn't ask for a better bowl selection and a better opponent. Growing up in Oklahoma, I was a huge Sooners fan growing up. My first college football game was an Oklahoma game, 1985. Barry Switzer's the head coach. Jamel Holloway's the quarterback. Running the triple option. Saw him play against Colorado. Brian Bosworth was playing. Went on to win a national championship that year. And that was when I decided I want to play college football, going to that first game there. So I grew up a big-time Sooners fan. So it's great to be playing a storied program like Oklahoma. And obviously went to school down in Texas. Love Texas. Fort Worth is a great city. And having 30 players on our team, on our roster from the great state of Texas. It's a big fertile recruiting ground for us. So excited to get back. Looking forward to it.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Coach, and welcome, and appreciate you taking the time. And we'll go ahead and open it up for some questions. I know we've got people on from local and from Oklahoma, and so go ahead and queue up and fire away for Coach.
See somebody talking about
Eric. Yeah, Eric, you're unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me, Coach?
Gotcha.
All right. Well, you grew up an Oklahoma fan or Oklahoma, growing up watching Oklahoma football. Have you been able to keep up with them over the years and kind of their ups and a little bit of their downs this year? Have you been able to keep up with Oklahoma?
Yeah, I keep up. I mean, not extremely closely, but obviously I still root for the Sooners. And my parents, my sister, my brother lived there in Oklahoma City, and so big Sooner family. So I had a niece that would have graduated there this past spring, and so yeah, I do. I keep up with them and follow them, but maybe not as close as I would if they were a team in our conference or something like that, Eric.
Well, how unique is this setup? Like you said, you got Army this week, and then 2 weeks later you got another football game in 13 days. How do you guys kind of, you don't want to overlook Army by any means, but how do you readjust and replan? And what do you think that work week's going to be like? Do you guys just treat it like a bye week, basically, going into the bowl game?
Yeah, kind of. There's one thing on our kids' minds right now. And so, and once that mission gets accomplished, then we'll move forward, start getting really excited about playing a bowl game. But we'll come back to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, after the Army game. And we'll cut our kids loose probably Thursday through Sunday. We meet up, I think they're on the 23rd, right, Strauss?
Yes.
So we'll regroup on the 23rd. That'll be a practice day for us, and that'll take us into kind of a normal prep week and into the bowl game.
Coach, thanks a bunch. Good luck. Have a good Christmas.
Thanks, Eric. You too.
Hey, Coach James Hale from Die Hard Sooner Report. Just tell us about Navy, what you're really doing there. I mean, I've seen you play, but some people maybe have not. And talk about what you're doing offensive and defensive. Just tell us a little bit about your program.
Sure. Obviously, there's Naval Academy. We've got to be pretty unique and different in what we do, and schematically, you try to find ways to equalize the playing field a little bit. And so, traditionally, if you follow any of the academies, what they've done offensively is unique with the triple option. And so there's certainly an element of that in regards to what we do. And the same thing defensively. We want to be unique and different. I got here in 2019 as defensive coordinator and running kind of a unique system. And we want to be extremely hard to prepare for. We want what we do schematically to be able to equalize things a little bit. We've got really smart kids here at the academy, so it allows us to maybe do a little bit more than maybe you would at some other places. And so unique in what we do, but I think what sets us apart is how we do it, with the intangibles, and got phenomenal young men in our program. We recruit the best and the brightest, from all over the country, and young men that are willing to serve their country. And so that makes them unique and different. It's a special place. It's a special bond these kids have here. It's a special brotherhood, and what we do is unique, right? How we do it is what makes it go, though.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, James.
Can I jump in, Strauss?
Go ahead, Wags.
Well, Coach, can you talk about how good this is for recruiting? You recruit Texas very, seriously and significantly, and as you mentioned, all the players on the roster. I mean, I can't think of too many better places for you to go expose the brand.
No better place to go, and no better team to do it against. To get a chance to play in a bowl game is one of our primary goals, and then to get to do it in Texas against a storied program like Oklahoma, and it doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
And can you talk about what you talk about being relevant within the landscape of college football? Beating a team like Oklahoma would certainly, make people set up and take notice, don't you figure?
Yeah, you go to a bowl game, you want to play a good opponent and get to have an opportunity to play a team like Oklahoma, and a team in the SEC is a great opportunity and can be a great challenge for us. But man, what a phenomenal opportunity! And these are the kind of games you want to play in when you come to the Naval Academy.
Thanks.
Navy has not played a team from the SEC in a bowl game since the 1955 Sugar Bowl against Ole Miss.
Could I ask Brent a question?
Absolutely.
This seems like a matchup with Navy has, nationwide appeal. There's Navy fans everywhere. Oklahoma, obviously, being so close, it just seems like you could probably sell a lot of tickets for this one.
Well, that's what we're hoping. We fully expect it. I mean, Navy has a great fan base. The prior two times that we had them, they showed up, and they played Middle Tennessee and La Tech. So you have OU on the other side with 3-hour driving radius just from the campus, but DFW is the number one area for their alumni as well. So we fully expect a full house on December 27th.
Anybody else with questions for Coach or Brant?
This is the one shot to get Coach to talk about Oklahoma until next week. We're straight Army for the next 6 days.
Hey, Coach, are you familiar with Brent Venables at all and what he's accomplished in his 20-something years of coaching football and his first 2 or 3 years at Oklahoma, of course, but are you familiar with what he does defensively and everything?
Yeah, sure am. He's followed me in Oklahoma, and obviously when he was at Clemson, thought he did a phenomenal job on that side of the football, and always admired how hard he got his kids to play and the scheme and just his aggressive nature. I kind of think him and I are somewhat alike in our philosophy on how to coach and call defenses, and so. Yeah, he's a guy that I'm very familiar with, and I've studied in the past in the off season, and really have a ton of respect for Brent.
Have you had a chance to watch them very much this year? Because I know don't watch a lot of other football.
Yeah, not a ton. There was game earlier in the year when they played Temple early on. We had them after that, and so got to see them on some crossover tape, but not a ton.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else from anybody? All right, Scott, did you have anything for the good of the group?
I was just going to say, if anyone wants added to our media list, email list, just shoot me an email. It's on the staff directory at navysports.com, or it's sstrasem@usna.edu. And my cell is 443-336-9023.
I have one more for Coach Newberry.
Bet.
Coach Niumatalolo treated the bowl game as a reward for the players and didn't want to overwork and, obviously want to win the game. But do you have a different approach? I mean, at other programs, they use this as almost like a spring practice to try to get young players and use up all the. I think Coach Niumat didn't always use all the available practice, and I don't think you can probably with the turnaround, will you? Well, how many practices you're allowed per bowl?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's up to 15, Wags, but it's never in play for us with Army being a week later.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's usually for teams that play New Year's Day.
Yeah.
How many times do you think we'll practice? I know you haven't gotten to it, but
if we had a little more time, Strauss, we would use some of that time for our developmental players. But unfortunately, we don't have a ton of extra time. So, and to answer your question, I kind of see it as both. I mean, it is a reward to get to play in a bowl game, but it's an opportunity for us to go get better too. And it's a game that we're going to approach just like we would any other game. It's a game we want to go win, and we're going to be prepared when we step on the field for sure.
Wags, I think the total number of practices will be 7. 3 here and 4 in Fort Worth.
Got it. Great. Thank